It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not the off in mind. Oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner. Oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube.
And thank you so much for joining me once again tonight and whatever time it is that you are watching or joining us from, thank you. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. And tell them that Maiyegun today.
Maiyegun diary politico. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun diary.
Thank you very much. Tonight, I have series of stuffs to share with you. Depends on how long the time would allow us to do that. So as you are joining, before you finally so kind of relaxed and settled down, you can use that remote control as well. If you are watching on your TV screen and you can still like that broadcast, or use your mobile to share the broadcast and tell them that Maiyegun today, they are planning to change the Nigeria currency, the naira. 200 naira, 100 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira. Emefiole just came out with another trick. We'll talk about that. Now, one person who happened to be a member of, supposed member of Atiku PDP, where Mr. Unifier said he had a problem, and he still has a problem with the Benue people and their governor because of their stand on the Fulani terrorists that have wreaked havoc in that state. So Ortom is now screaming and saying that, listen, oh, anybody will get here, may listen, oh, you know my situation with Miyyetti Allah. Now, Atiku is Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah is Atiku. So whatever you think Buhari is doing right now, shielding terrorists, Atiku is going to do even worse. And that's somebody who belongs to their cabinet. But again, we are never going to ignore all the red flags as usual, so that you will know that it's not worth it, all these characters, yeah? Share the broadcast. Just tell everybody and say, Maiyegun But just before any of that, tonight, there is one big news again. This time around, I will open the floor with this, and you get to know what the news is all about.
Oh, you do I want. Oh, Mary, win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unabori Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unabori Mary Nnamdi go onyedu I walk. O Mary Wonizu Ambiroya Abakare. Mamanda Mura, Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Now Python that's a three. Unaburi Mary Nnamdi.
The big news is that just a week ago, the appeal court in Nigeria trashed all the allegation, the case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know if this made any much news in your media in Nigeria. Yes, a week ago, the court said he should be freed. Now, that was in Abuja. Another court has released another judgment today, another federal high court in Umuhaia, a place where the abduction, the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya was being challenged by his legal team. Ladies and gentlemen, this started from September, and there is already a judgment. Second one, in fact. The first one, they awarded a penalty of 1 billion naira against Nigeria, Malamu, that you can't kidnap somebody and then say, well, you have a case against him. You've committed a crime. You need to correct that first before anything else, right? Now, Malamu and gang, they have received another judgment today against them from Nnamdi Kanu, right? This will be the 8th judgment against the lawless Buhari APC, Egbekegbese government of Nigeria. This particular one is, in fact, very, very, very symbolic. You know what the judgment said? The judges said that Malamu and gang, they must begin the process of returning Nnamdi Kanu to Kenya. Now, they have to return him to Kenya. You know, I said that before. From the Genesis, I said, they would need to take him back to Kenya, go through the normal extradition process. When they win there, that is when they can then bring Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria, which can take God knows what, years, especially with the desperation they have shown. That shows that they are ready to break any law and every law just to achieve their sinister motive. And every move of theirs, they have been failing. I don't know what they are telling you. I don't know what their media are telling you. Everything they are bringing, they have been failing. Judgment after judgment. This one now said they need to return him to Kenya. And when they are returning him to Kenya, they must give him 500 million naira. That's what the judgment said. Remember, Malamu is still in court in Abuja, begging the appeal court to please don't let us release him. Please wait, give us some time, just little time, just more time. So last, the shame and the shamelessness of you one Nigerianist, is shaming other people who actually understand what shame is all about. An innocent man is being persecuted, not prosecuted, though. And every lie that they continue to spend money to propagate all over the place, right, have been sort of trashed, everywhere, trashed. These guys, maybe some of you have forgotten, when they said they wanted to proscribe IPOB as a terrorist organization, the people carrying flags, camera phone, selfie stick, placard, and they are singing, Holy, holy, Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. Holy, 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 holy. That is what gets you so angry. And these guys said they are terrorists. Who have they terrorized? Nobody, other than the oppressors that keep many of you in bondage of that one Nigeria. He's been oppressing them, or maybe he's been traumatizing them. But now they went to court. They said, okay, they wanted to proscribe them. They went to court. The court said you can't proscribe them. How many of you know that there's actually a court judgment against proscription of IPOB? How many of you know that? Because you are in a lawless country, and many of you are not different from your lawless criminal leaders. You just prefer them from one to another. So to say, innocent man locked up. They went to America. You know what they went to do in America? They went to pay lobbyists. You know, that's what American politics is all about. That is how dictators, criminals in Africa have managed to stay above the radar. No matter how brutal they have been, no matter how corrupt they have been, they have lobbyists in America that they pay tens, hundreds of millions of dollars to every year to launder their image or to help them sabotage the image of whoever they suspect to be their enemy. In this case, Nigeria was spending millions of dollars bribing American senators, lawmakers, through lobbyists to help them urge the American government to proscribe IPOB as a terrorist organization. Now, for 7 years, ladies and gentlemen, they have been unable to do that. I'm not making this up. You can go and look it up now. Bring out your phone and search for that. How IPOB defeated Nigerian lobbyists in America during the time that Buhari was doing everything. When everything failed, their court said you can't proscribe them. There is no evidence of terrorism. If anybody committed any crime in the name of IPOB, in the name of Biafra, you should let them face the law. If you have any law, if you respect your law, if you are not if you are not hunting them or witch hunting them, that means if they commit any crime, you take them to your law, Abi. But no, they haven't committed any crime. That is why when they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, they started looking for evidence. How can we get evidence? Where can we get evidence from? We need to prove it to people that this guy is dangerous. They lied to people in Kenya, government of Kenya. They told them, they said, Nnamdi Kanu, if they see him in Kenya, right? Remember they declared him wanted, though. After they declared him wanted, Nnamdi Kanu was seen everywhere, in America, here in the UK, and almost everywhere in Europe then. Israel and other places, Abi? Because you're wanted, the Nigeria. I mean, what should I say? The paper they printed, the wanted, Nnamdi Kanu wanted on, is so worthless, worthless than tissue paper that you use. The already used tissue paper in your toilet that you can't use anymore. The paper they printed, the wanted, Nnamdi Kanu wanted on, is a pure tissue paper. So they have to add some lies. So they told them in Kenya, he's a terrorist, so he's trying to break Nigeria. He is working with other terrorists all over Africa. If you see him, we'll give you something. Don't worry, we'll give you something. If you see him, just get him for us. Now, when Kenya authority got him, tortured him. Imagine that. Tortured him. For 1 week. And they found nothing. But they couldn't let him go. You know the story. Which means every move of Buhari and his gang against Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, no matter what they are telling you there, and no matter what you want to believe, that's your business. Whatever you want to believe, right? You are free to believe whatever you want to believe. But here is a fact that is different from fiction. Okay? This is fact from fiction now, right? Or maybe if you have any other better evidence that Buhari can find and you know it, you probably could be helpful and useful to them. Malamu is looking for evidence like mad. They tortured people. And they said they should confess that Nnamdi Kanu gave them guns. Nnamdi Kanu recruited them. Yet, they couldn't force confession out of them because they're like, we have never even seen him. We have never even talked to him. We are just innocent people you kidnapped. And thousands of people have been locked up that way in different prisons all over Nigeria. That's how desperate they have been. And guess what? Every moment these people appear in any court, every tissue of lie of Malamu, Nigeria and the rest of them, they just like fall like a pack of cards. This is facts from fiction now. Maybe if you have any evidence of anybody convicted for a crime as IPOB member in Nigeria, since Buhari has been killing them and trying to frame them up, maybe you can tag me in one of them and say, Maiyegun, look at this one. He was arrested. He confessed. Look, he's been jailed, because they've never been able to prove anything. Just anything. And that is facts, which is different from fiction. Sure you get now. So this last one, they have now told Malamu and gang that kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. And they tortured him, beat him up, drugged him, that is, they sedated him, so that he won't know what is going on. But despite the whole sedation that they injected him, he was able to explain in a very clearer terms how they moved him, from the secret place they locked him in Kenya to their airport, how a private jet, the color of the despite putting the hood on him, he explained everything without missing anything to his own lawyer. And that has been the instrument they have used in the last 1 year to chase Malamu and the Arago criminals back to their Sahel where they come from. You just need to make it official. That's the only thing. Send them back to where they come from. A hell of animals whose only legacy in 7 years is that they have succeeded in dividing Nigeria, even beyond where many of you today will say is unbelievable. Yes, there are many of you who are saying that today. And the level when the waiting they happen to Nigeria is unbelievable. Shana Nigeria be this? Or more. When did Nigeria turn to this? This is unbelievable. If anybody had told me that in my lifetime, Nigeria is going to be like this, I would never believe it. Many of you are saying that to yourselves. Whenever you meet your friends, whenever you are in your private, in your private corner of your rooms there, where you lament about what Nigeria has become. In 7 years, APC, they were able to divide Nigeria religiously. They divided Nigeria ethnically.
They divide Nigeria tribally, and that is their strength, the division. I'll be waiting you go cut this one now. Is that not a failure? You've went to everywhere. United Nations Human Rights Council, they wrote to Nigeria and said arbitrary detention of people is against the human rights, what's it called? Kushina Convention, United Nations Human Rights statute. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you can't just keep somebody in a place arbitrarily. You can't torture them. If they commit any crime, use your law and let them be punished according to that crime. But in Nigeria, when innocent man is caught, right, they expect you to beg. Even when they said, even when people went, that okay, calm down, Buhari, whatever is going on in your mind, Nnamdi Kanu no go hit you, okay? He no go hit you. Just calm down. Whatever paranoia going on in the head of those around you, release him. Save yourself from this coming shame. Because this one, it be like, it can't be like fly. We follow dead body enter grave, If Buhari and gang, if they don't back off now, as they say, back off. Nnamdi Kanu, no matter what you see him as, his human rights is being abused by the criminals who deliberately wanted no peace in eastern Nigeria, and they are using the instrument of states, right, to ensure that the unrest continue. What do you call it? The increased in crime in that region to continue, while they are holding an innocent man to be blamed for it, even in the face of their law. They are wrong. Do you understand that? To the point that even one Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, at a point, it was like, I'm begging you. I'll be waiting to remain again. Buhari said, let the law, let the court settle it. Court don't settle them. What is the begging again that court should hold on? Let us lock him up. This guy was literally begging, like kneeling down. I beg you, son.
Dead men don't stand trial. Sick men are even given medical treatment to ensure that they are fit and strong to stand trial. That is why we say, come and stand trial. Have you ever heard somebody say, come and sit down trial? Have you ever heard somebody say, come and prostrate in trial? Have you ever heard somebody say, come and kneel down, or come and lie down trial? No, it is come and stand trial. It is taking that you are strong enough to be able to stand through that trial. So I am here begging the federal government, the president, look at my news. Threatening, in the name of Almighty God and in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, to peace, and in the name of peace and tranquility, and in the name of social justice, equity, egalitarianism, and good conscience, and in the name of respect for due process, respect for human rights, and rule of law, I am begging gently, Mr. President, sir, ignore any what advice you are being given by whosoever, release Nnamdi Kanu, and you will be praised. History will record you justly that you decided after the court had delivered the judgment, even though you failed to follow the political solution, and even the window of opportunity given by the United Nations Working Group against arbitrary detention, rendered on the 20th of July, 2022, that you releasing Nnamdi Kanu and also paying compensation, even though all these have failed. Mr. President said, it is never too late. Now a court has pronounced judgment. Obey the judgment. Don't stay the execution of the liberty of your own citizen. You are father of all. God bless you.
Father of all. The Afrans were like, no, don't beg the asshole. No, come on. Don't beg him. Why are you begging him? Even in his own court, he will be defeated. Anywhere he wants to go into, even if he should go and select Fulani to be the judges, when facts are presented, even in their own courts right there, they can only just delay, postpone.
But when they have to rule, they will have to rule right. They will be defeated in their own court. I mean, that's something that I want you to please always remember when I say, no matter what they are trying to paint, the picture they are painting out there, right? These guys are criminals, organized criminals. And there's nothing they can do. Absolute nothing. When they see a serious sort of a threat, a social movement that is posing a bigger threat to the empire that they believe they have managed to conquer, right? They can do anything, including mass murder, genocide, anything. So they are not the kind of the people that, you and I in any way should for any reason defend back, because that, what is going on right now, can actually be you. Yes, it can be you. There is a limit to what people can take and for how long they can be quiet. And in this case, in Nigeria, the voices are going to continue to rise and rise and rise until we put an axe to it and save ourselves this soul stress. Okay? One of the reasons why Nnamdi Kanu became so prominent, and then which won him so many enemies, was because of his stance, his postulations, and then his his consistent warning of what Buhari and APC Egbekegbe are coming to become if they should by mistake gain power in Nigeria. So when he was sending those warnings, they were coming out to so many people then as hatred, as hate speech, as this or that. But not long after APC Egbekegbe took over the reins of power in Nigeria, everything Nnamdi Kanu professed, they started manifesting. And people started going back there and they started seeing more. And with this end aim, more and more and more, dedicated or loyal followers who are now listening to him with more rapt attention over the years. This is the threat, that made Nnamdi Kanu the #1 enemy of the jihadists that took over power in Nigeria. But guess what? Yesterday, the court said, let him go. From Umuhaia, listen to this.
So only major court major only federal government had a court. They had a jail court for mana court ha major. I baby seek. They had a Jesse court also. Almost in my hatch, the seek a hag make court order. Obey. It is smart land court to the Nigeria. I am as your American trade law. Court can respect. I respect a court.
Ejimako, the Nigerian government don't respect their own courts. Isn't that a shame? He warned us. If Nnamdi Kanu is out right now, he will probably warn us more about this Atiku, which has now triggered the people of Benue, their governor. You know the governor of Benue State right now, Ortom? You know there is a fatwa on his head from Miyetti Allah. Do you know that? You don't? Well, there is a fatwa on his head. They said immediately he finished as the governor of Benue. Anywhere we then see him, may then kill him. That is called fatwa. And the Miyyetti Allah who gave that are still driving in convoy, expensive automobiles, protected by the Nigerian DSS, Nigerian police, and every other security they've given to them. They are still working free. They threatened the governor of a state. And Atiku, if Nnamdi Kanu was out, it would have probably warned us more or refreshed the warning he told us about them. But Atiku, in this modern day and time, when they talk, say they talk something. All you have to say is, give me evidence. Give me evidence. Somebody said, Atiku is not with me, Miyyetti Allah. Atiku, but you know what? This message is loud and clear to the people of Benue who have dug the graves for more than 30,000 people killed by the Fulani terrorists in Benue. Imagine when the people of Benue were watching this. Listen.
We Northerners always think about Nigeria more than other parts of the country. This is simply because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Yoruba. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Igbo. So that's why they identify themselves as Igbo nation, Yoruba nation, whatever nation they call themselves.
Did you hear that loud and clear? Or whatever nation they call themselves. Listen again.
We Northerners always think about Nigeria more than other parts of the country. This is simply because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Yoruba. There is no any other ethnic group in the Southwest other than Igbo. So that's why they identify themselves as Igbo nation, Yoruba nation, whatever nation they call themselves. But in the North, what are you going? You can only identify yourself as a Northerner because we are multi-ethnic and multi-religious. Multi-ethnic and multi-religious. When you come to, you gave an example of grazing or open grazing. One, I am a manufacturer of livestock feeds, from cattle to poultry. Two, I have more than 1,000 heads of cattle. They have never moved out of one location. So it's simply introducing modern methods of looking after our livestock. No more, no less. I had a very big quarrel with the governor of Ortom on his accusation of Fulani, this Fulani, that. Big quarrel with him. I say, I'm Fulani. Why should you categorize all Fulanis? And he admitted even his own ethnic group are stealing his own cow. I said, then why are you not calling all thieves? They are all thieves also. So, it's just that we have to improve on the way and manner we look after our.
So he said it. You see all those things they called farmers others clashes. Their Fulani terrorists were murdering and killing women and children. And so many villages, ransacked communities and all that burnt. High DP, Benue State alone, they have over 1.5 million people in the refugee camps caused by the Fulani terrorists. Atiku know that. He knows. And he knows that it is not farmers others clashes. He knows. But Atiku is a politician. That is why he knows the audience he is addressing. Thank God for social media. If not, they would have probably edited that before they made it public. He knows his audience. When they killed Deborah, when they killed that girl, Deborah, and everybody reacted so enraged. Oh my God, how could they do that? What the hell? Like, how could you have an argument in your WhatsApp group and then you cited the girl and you have to burn him? And we saw the video of the burning. We saw the guys who burnt him and all that. Atiku reacted and said, this is barbaric. This is unacceptable. Those who killed Deborah must be arrested and prosecuted. Within 5 minutes, there was over like 10,000 comments on Facebook. Like more than 3,000 retweets. More than 10,000 retweets. And then, 10,000 comments, replies on Twitter. Guess what makes up the 99% of the comments? From Northerners. You have lost our vote. You this man. This is why you will never become president. You are defending infidel. Somebody who insulted our prophet. Blah, blah. Atiku deleted the tweet. Deleted it on Facebook. And he apologized in Hausa. When he wanted to apologize to them that he is very sorry for that tweet, for that post, he wrote it back in Hausa, and he said he did not authorize that tweet, that post, that commiserated and called for commiserated with the family of Deborah and called on the authority to arrest Akilas. Atiku said that tweet and that message is not from him. That if you see any message on social media, at the end of that message, if you don't see AA, that is not from him. Atiku denied that because of the reactions of the jihadists from northern Nigeria that told him, you have just lost us. You have just lost everything. So Atiku is your typical Fulani terrorist as well. Or you can say a Fulani terrorist sympathizer. And they've always been. Now Buhari come expose all of them. Yoruba nation or Igbo nation or whatever they call themselves. That's what he said. And he knows that he's lying. Here you get the death of tens of thousands of people killed, including women and children in Benue, has prompted them to react that, wait, this one a red flag. Everybody just behave. We know they have anything to do with Atiku, even though we did the same party. Ortom said it. His own party and whatever leaders in Benue, they quickly give a press release and said, no come here. No come here at all. Sure you get. Now we know where you are. We know where you belong. Miyetti Allah will rule you for another 8 years if Atiku could become your president. Write that down. Right, write it down. Write it down. Ortom, where are you?
Responding to this because I was the one that, unfortunately, our presidential candidate profiled. And it will appear to me that he is working with Miyetti Allah because that is the same language that Miyetti Allah were saying about me. I have never profiled any Fulani man. I have always qualified anytime I call Fulanis. These are Fulanis from Niger, from Mali, from Senegal, from Mauritania, from Libya, from Chad, who have come together and say they will take over our country to become their own. And that is why they have displaced our people. And who on earth will say I should not say that? I am the governor of Benue State. More than 2 million people are IDPs. And why should I not talk about those who are my enemies and are killing my people? I remain committed. And whatever I have done, whether the law, whatever we're doing in the state, is fully with the support of Benue people. I have their consent. I have the backing of House of Assembly. I have the backing of National Assembly, who are from Benue State. And nobody has the right to profile me and make me look bad before the Fulanis. I have no problem. I have Fulanis in my government. And I have never sent any Fulani man away from Benue State. All that I say is that we have a law in place. Let everybody be law-abiding and respect it. When this thing came up, on my own, these are things that I attempted to avoid. I had sent a chat message to the presidential candidate, our presidential candidate, telling him that he was unfair to me when he made those remarks in Kaduna. And I told him I needed an unreserved apology from him And the following morning, he chatted back and accepted that what was said was not accurate. But all the same, he sincerely apologized to me. But when I started seeing this agitation coming from back home and other parts of the country, I also charged him that please get your media aid to refute this, to send this apology to the media so that people will understand what it is. These are things that I was trying to avoid. And unfortunately, nothing has been done.
He was particularly concerned over the recent attack on rural dwellers in Beji, Ukum Local Council, which claimed over 30.
I think what he said about us in Beji was not correct. You can imagine the sympathy message from Mr. President through Shehu Garba. And of course, he said it right because we have disagreed severally on several political issues and national issues that arose. We disagreed, but when the president, Muhammadu Buhari, noticed that there was this killing, he sent a sympathy message and simply said that, look, those people should be apprehended. It wasn't going to say that they should allow people, integrate people so that there will be no more killing. I mean, that was not good enough. And it was not correct for a presidential candidate who is seeking to rule the people to say that kind of a thing. It was very wrong. And it will appear that he doesn't even reference me and consider me to be a governor of my state. I'm not in his campaign team. Nothing there, I'm aware. The people they appointed here, no consent from me, and so on. So, me, I remain my own, but I'm waiting. When the election comes, we shall vote the election according to the election.
Also, a group known as Minda Leaders of Thought took a swipe at the former vice president and took sides with their governor.
The Minda Leaders of Thought find such baseless outbursts and accusation unfounded, reprehensible, and condemnable, especially coming from a political figure laying claim to pan-Nigerianism, a nation with trappings of ethnic fragility. Alhaji Atiku's outburst is comprehensively a product of bad taste and unfounded malice that is drenched in ethnic chauvinism against all ethnic groups that looks up to him as a protective shield, having been accorded the rare opportunity, the privilege of a honorific chieftaincy title of Zagamuroti, the paramount shade of the chief people.
So, Yima Gudu, my brother, you are TV, and they say the TV people are very, very angry with Atiku because now they know that everything they've put together to defend themselves against the Fulani terrorists that are killing them in Benue, all the gains will be reversed by an Atiku who is quite not comfortable with the way it's been done. Let me tell you something, right? Pre-2015, right? When people destroying people when they were in charge of Kaduna, the people of Southern Kaduna, they were very, very formidable. Oh, forget it. Because it's been like historically, they have always been witnessing attacks upon attacks on their communities from the invading Fulani terrorists from the Sahel. And they've always been dealing with them. I think there are many other national, there are many other parts of Nigeria that have this same historical experience with the Fulani terrorists as well. Historically, they attacked. People always have the capacity to repel them. Where did they come from? You come people's land, you started shooting and killing and maiming, and you think you're going to go back? No, come on. People were able to fight back. Then El Rufaya said something. He said, for every Fulani killed, it is a debt
that Nigeria will pay back one day. So El Rufai and their propaganda and all the terrorists that they unleashed on Kaduna, they were able, was able to become their governor. You know what happened? It didn't take 3 months before El Rufai was able to disarm the young, the old, the people of Southern Kaduna. Now they unleashed the terrorists on them. You know the story, but their media continue to bury it, right? You know the story. I'm leader into my share one to see. You will never see them again. But if they die, it is just like a saving grace for them. If they remain on this earth, please don't think they are going to be free forever with what they have done. Documented. El Rufai said he traveled all over Africa. And he told the Fulani terrorists that he met all over Africa that they can come back to Nigeria now, that their brother is now in charge. Remember that? Oh, he said that. And since then, Southern Kaduna, they've never known peace. Tens of thousands of people have been slaughtered. Properties, villages, communities have been destroyed. It became so bad that some communities in Southern Kaduna have been renamed because when the terrorists kill the people, they take over the land. Like, have you ever seen that? Many parts of Southern Kaduna right now are being occupied by terrorists who killed the people of that community, who are now living in refugee camps in different states in Nigeria. Can you believe that? Crime scene. The terrorists killed the people. They took over the crime scene, and the government of Kaduna has been helping them to rename those areas, appointing emirates, appointing emirs for them. I'm not making this up, but they have done so well with the Nigerian media, with the Nigerian populace, that so many of these things are sounding new to some people, maybe few, maybe some. Exactly, that is what the situation has become. In 7 years, ask the people of Southern Kaduna, ask the people of Benue. Now, if they all have PTSD about Atiku, no blame them all. They say anybody wait under, enter ground for him face. If he see Shango, you know go help, you know go join anybody to mock him. Wait under, enter ground. You go fear. People who have seen the backing that the terrorists have received in this part of Nigeria. I'm talking about people recorded Nigeria military have been a helicopter dropping supply for terrorists in the forest a day before attack. Recorded, documented stuff. So, I remember when somebody asked Atiku about his legacy in Adamawa, something that we should just refresh before we go to, because he's been generous now. He just gave them 55 million naira in Bayelsa. Somebody asked him this question in 2019. If you have the time, you can watch it.
And yet Adamawa still remains one of the poorest states in Nigeria.
Yes, but
and
why?
They've had you, a man who's been vice president for 8 years, someone who... I am going to ask the questions no matter how you shout, so you might as well just let me talk. I am going to ask the questions.
Ask.
So the Adamawa still remains one of the poorest countries, and therefore, if you talk about people who want to look at antecedents, because you kept talking about your record, and so it's a fair question for people to ask. If your home state has not seen an appreciable change as a result of your major sitting in an office of that of the vice president, why should we believe you would do better for the rest of Nigeria?
Again, you have got it wrong, because you didn't try to compare what was it before and now. Today,
give us the numbers.
I may not be able to give you the numbers, but today...
So I can tell you.
Oh, well, you can tell me, but then you have to convince me that you have the right...
I have the numbers. So Adamawa has, for the last 20 years, come in sort of 26, 27 in the index of poor states in Nigeria. It hasn't shifted much. Maybe one place in the last 20 years.
Then it cannot be one place in the last 20 years. It must be maybe in the last maybe 10 years.
No, I'm talking about 20 years. I looked at the numbers before coming in here. Because it's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about.
But it has
seeing
shifted.
as it is your state.
But it is shifted.
A little bit.
So one single individual is able to make that shift. So imagine if it is.
But isn't that part of the problem, actually? That
How?
in all your influence, you've not been able to build another you in Adamawa or someone close to you.
Do you know how long it took me?
That is all about you.
Do you know how long it took me to be?
Do you know how long it took him to get to where he is? And you are asking me that everybody should wait for their turn, Jare. Atiku Lokan. Atiku Lokan. So let's go to Bayelsa, where he's been generous to them. And he promised that he's going to build them a dam. He's going to build a dam that will prevent this kind of flood in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Adamawa and all the street paparazzi. We're also going to go back to Kano, by the way. Okay? I don't know if many of you know that today, or maybe before now, because sometimes you think you know Tinubu, but you don't know him. Oloruko Tokpo. Akanbi omo olodo de. Tinubu aṣíwájú àwọn olè. Aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò. Aṣíwájú àwọn atọ̀lé. You can also call him Baba Abraham. Can you believe that? I just heard that today. They said it's Abraham. Baba Abraham. Oh yeah, stretch. Now Abraham be that too. Some of you who don't know that Tinubu has been baptized as when he was baptized, he is called Abraham. Abraham, father of many nations. Abraham. See, you don't get your presidential vibe. Like Buhari, the package, you don't look say, So if you go church on Sunday and they tell you for Redeemed Church that Brother Bola Abraham. So we are going to come back to Brother Bola Abraham. Abraham, abracadabra. Let's go to Bayelsa, where Atiku became a generous visitor today. And he actually gave them 55 million. And this is how the journey started.
Sorry. Surprise. Hey, let them pack. They will come.
When you pass there, yeah. No, they are lining up here. Yeah, they are coming here. They walk out there. They can stop us. They line up here. The 5 was I know.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
No, maybe they thought your plane was not fast.
So the usual. That was the hang on. Hey, hang on. We are not here at this one. The APC bishop and all that. Come on. Sorry, guys. I was going to come back to Father Abraham, but we are still in Bayelsa. Okay. So on the street of Bayelsa, when Atiku was on the road as well, this is what was captured, just for the record as well.
Atiku, confirmation that Atiku. Daddy, welcome. You are the next president. Atiku, you will. Atiku, you will. Whatever you will. Atiku, you will. You're my daddy. Daddy, shut up. Atiku, you will. I don't see my two people.
Everybody, make sure say you collected your money. Or I don't want to wake up tomorrow. They see video. People will be say that they curse everybody. We call them. Maybe they come welcome Atiku. Because some people know that you know they have to be paid. That's the deal. 500 naira, 1,000 naira. But nevertheless, those he met. Okay, hang on. You know, Atiku went to Bayelsa, not to campaign. Okay, he went there to see the victims of this floods that is currently wreaking havoc in Nigeria. So you can consider everybody you saw there as people who are the victims of the flood in Nigeria. But if they promise you money before you made up that team, I'm going to advise you, collect your money before you go anywhere. I know 1 year story, like they talk. You see that guy screaming, Atiku, with the bell and all of that, He's doing his own job too. But fair enough, it was there. Some people are saying, but Atiku will go meet people will be victim of flooding, right? Water no dey the area. It be like saying that the people the victims of the flood in the floods in Nigeria, they were the ones who came to meet Atiku. But again, he was there, and his own court jester that he will never allow you to pass the microphone to Atiku without him wetting the floor first. Who is that? This guy.
Land of Canaan. One Nigerian who understands Nigeria. And I want to repeat that every part of this country is a residence to Atiku Abubakar. The man who understands the terrain in the northern part of this country and understands the creeks of the southern part of Nigeria. A true Nigerian, a federalist, a pan-Nigerian, who embrace everyone irrespective of your religion or ethnicity. Today, in continuation of his status, he is in Bayelsa to commiserate with the people of the state. Ladies and gentlemen, for want of time, may I have the pleasure to introduce to His Excellency the Governor of Bayelsa State, the government and people of Bayelsa State, true Nigerian, true patriots, the most preferred candidates in the 2023 presidential election, the most matured candidate, 2023 presidential election, the most amplified candidate, 2023 presidential election. Above all, he is the most experienced of all the presidential candidates. I want to assure Bayelsans, while I will call on him to speak to us, I assure you, he is the presidential candidate that knows the meaning and value of climate change. He understands what climate change is. He will never describe climate change as a rat eating the Holy Communion. I have the pleasure to hand over the microphone to the magnificent, indomitable, indefatigable, ever conscious, ever dynamic, Atiku Abubakar.
Ever sagacious, ever available, ever Atiku Abubakar. When Atiku become your president, yeah, they should make sure that Dino Melaye is the chief jester to the president. When he wakes up in the morning, Dino needs to remind him, Atiku Baba, Daddy, you are alive today. 1 million life for you. Baba, you are awake today. In the father of the kingdom of 220 million mumus. Baba, you are alive today because God wants, all that stuff. And Atiku will just majestically say, what day is it? Dino. Say, Papa, na Friday. Today we're going to mosque. The whole world is waiting for you to be awake, Oluwa me. Those ones that work, court jesters that work in Yoruba land. If you have watched Yoruba movie very well, the Nollywood, Yoruba Wood. I don't even know if there's anything like that, right? You shall know what I'm talking about. Oluwa me. Something, jire ni sare. That stuff. They don't care. Oluwa mi ti ji o, my Lord is awake. So the whole world can now go ahead. So somebody like that, Dino, will do a better job. And I think that's one of the reasons why it was easier for Alhaji Atiku to quickly had this.
On my part and on behalf of my family, I wish to announce a donation of 50 million to the fund. It is a national emergency relief fund, similar in scope to what was initiated during the COVID-19 pandemic. And to that end, I wish to call on my friends and associates in the corporate world and in private capacities to join me in this cause. If elected as president in the presidential elections next year, I shall commit to completing the Dading Hausa Dam in Adamawa State to manage the releases of excess water from Lagdo Dam in the Cameroon Republic. I shall also commit to working with state governments like Bayelsa to build the required flood management infrastructure, scholarship.
It is smoke Igbo. It is taking them.
Sorry, I know some of you. Maiyegun, why didn't you let the video finish? He also gave 5 million naira to the family of that young man that died. Trying to save those who were to drown when the boat capsized somewhere in that same rivers or Niger Delta region. This guy, right? This guy saved a lot of people, right? In the process, he died. He drowned. So Atiku gave his family, his surviving wife and 2 children. He gave them 5 million naira. So for the record, let me replay this, and you can say thank you to Dino as well, the man with the wig, your president, the court jester.
On my part and on behalf of my family, I wish to announce a donation of 50 million to the fund. It is a national emergency relief fund, similar in scope to what was initiated during the COVID-19 pandemic. And to that end, I wish to call on my friends and associates in the corporate world and in private capacities to join me in this cause. If elected as president in the presidential elections next year, I shall commit to completing the Dading Hausa Dam in Adamawa State to manage the releases of excess water from Lagdo Dam in the Cameroon Republic. I shall also commit to working with state governments like Bayelsa to build the required flood management infrastructure, scholarship granted to the 2 children he has left behind. This scholarship will educate them up to university level. God bless them. Thank you.
I mean, I don't know if 5 million naira will educate them up to university level.
which is a lie. If you have to factor in inflation and every other thing. But yeah, he gave them 5 million naira. So that makes it a total donation in Bayelsa 55 million naira. I mean, they said that Obi donated 5 million naira to support the flood victims everywhere he's been to. Tinubu has been donating 50 million, 100 million to the flood and the fire fire victims up north. So everybody, they do their own, what do you call it? Their own carry me for now. Depends on how deep your pocket is. So that is what happened in Bayelsa. And Jeje Sidano, I can't realize, say, Omo. They say if two lovers are fighting, make you dey careful. Because as it be, it be like Tom and Jerry. As it be now, Tinubu, Pa Abraham, Abi Father Abraham, because we really need to. They said it was Pastor Adeboye that christianed Tinubu as Abraham, father of many nations. So, to some of us, as father of many nations, you can't fight people because you are father of many nations, you know. This is no longer like when you are in the world. For example, I don't know how long Pastor Adeboye named Tinubu Abraham. Pa Abraham. I don't know how long. But somebody said, if they want to call Tinubu Abraham, they will just say, Ibro Bobo. Abi Ibro is Ibrahim. Abraham is Ibrahim, Abi. For those who grew up in Lagos Island and all these places, who remember the true story of Tinubu, you get. Sometimes when you say all those things, they will say it's because you don't like him, you hate him. But there are people who actually know his story. So when they see him, they will say, we know Maiyegun, now you they learn late. We they call him Ibro Bobo from Bodilon. Ibro Bodilon. You they see him? So some of you are surprised. Why? I mean, when was that? They don't start to. Now, so they talk, say, Goodluck Jonathan was Azikiwe because of 2011 election. Suddenly, Goodluck Jonathan said he had a link to Igbo. You remember that time? So now we know that Muslim ticket is an issue. Okay, fine. Many of you, they para. Muslim ticket. Allah go happen. Oh. But you didn't even know that this is Mr. Ibrahim. From brother Ibrahim to Papa Abraham. No, brother Abraham. To now Daddy Abraham. The daddy of many nations. Why would he want to hold grudges? So when the other day when they said that Bishop Bola Abraham will never run out of bishops if he, he's been in the ministry for a while. Some of you didn't pay. I mean, you didn't pay attention. Somebody said comica. I'm trying to make it look at comica. It's not comica. It's not funny. Stop laughing. This is not funny. This is serious. 2023 election for them is the survivor of what is coming after them. Something that could make them lose everything. So if somebody turned around and said that a Muslim ticket that is making you panic, do you know that I'm actually Abraham? Don't you know that that's religious manipulation? And that is why when they needed a bishop to attend their Muslim ticket declaration, it wasn't hard because he did blood. Here you get. So if you see Bishop Abraham on the left and you see Bishop Oshiomole on the right, tell me, if they come out tomorrow and say, don't listen to what people say, as you are looking at me, so I be Abraham. I just didn't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, okay? I still have your interest as well. My wife is a pastor in Redeem. In that same Redeem church, I became Abraham, father of many, many nations. So the trick is there. And then what do you call the laugh is not lost on us. As some have said that they will kill if they have to kill to ensure that the APC, Egbekegbe, win in 2023, especially in Borno State. I mean, they will kill. He said it. So, but Bishop Abraham said, as for me, there is no point in fighting or anything, because even the man, all those who offended me, everybody that tried to challenge me, I have defeated all of them. Why should I fight anybody? Even Yemi, Pastor Ruga, he has accepted that indeed good men are not needed for leadership because they are only good in or good at selling ice cream. So Oshibajo himself is looking forward to retirement by opening his own Oshibajo ice cream company. I didn't say that. But the only hilarious part of it is that Oshibajo, Pastor Ruga, said the chairman of his own Oshibajo ice cream company will be the same man that actually gave him the retirement plan to go and sell ice cream, not become president of a country. Yeah, he met them recently and he said, well, I'm happy to introduce to you the chairman, Shitty Man, the chairman of Oshibajo ice cream company in short.
Who is running, distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, who is also the majority shareholder and chairman of the Yemi Oshibajo ice cream company.
Just to remind them, you said I should go and sell ice cream. Well, here you go. Is the vice presidential candidate of APC, Egbekegbe, and he is also the highest shareholder in Yemi Oshibajo ice cream company. Guess what? They go buy maybe they go buy a keke. If the OT no work out, last, maybe they will have to go and invest in Oshimbade's ice cream company. But at that same meeting, Oshimbade was telling his own team, he said, you know what, guys, if you now want chop, you better go chop. Oh. All of you now wait to say, since I know win, money they flow everywhere. Oh. Me, I get few months to go. If all of you now want chop, you better go chop. Oh. Now so then gather themselves in Kano. Baba, we are sorry. Our leader said we should go and work for you. I mean, Oshimbade's defenders, they came before Father Abraham to say, we are sorry, sir. Pastor say, no, we'll go follow Father Abraham. And he said, I am the father of all. I don't forgive you.
Your Excellency, our candidate, in making this arrangements of the support groups, 3 different support groups of that campaigned for Oshibajo pre-primaries, we made consultations with your friends and even your enemies. Sometimes all of them speak on one good quality about you. Most of them have agreed that you stood out of being patient and that strength of forgiving whosoever offends you in politics. Your Excellency, sir, we plead and will want to see more of the public participation between you, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, and all other aspirants that are contestant against you. You are the candidate. You have won. You are already the winner, and you are going to be the next President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, inshallah. Sir, my group has a structure in the 19 northern states. We brought in the coordinators from the 54 senatorial districts from the 19 states, sir. We are for now in the 19 northern states. We promise, with the commitment, the perseverance, to deliver you in 2023, inshallah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think this is a very important. nothing against him. I've been to his house after the primary. I've seen him the day of the goodwill message to the retreat organized by the president. And the man who forgives, a man who asks for forgiveness from Allah.
Sorry, Jerry. I mean, I'll get you a longer one next time, okay? Because our time is actually like winding up as well. So yeah, he said he has asked for forgiveness, is been forgiven. So go and sin no more and make sure you work for us. But unfortunately, most of these guys are not even delivering most of the promises they are making. A whole Kanu. How could you do this to Kolu after all of that pledges and all that money? This is not acceptable. You know what I mean? Kanu.
Ba kowa a titi, duba titi dan Allah. Ai gashi, wallahi ɗauka nake wallahi ba kowa, wallahi zan nuna miki, wallahi, ni kurin danke na to na ɗauki hoto. Billahi lazi la ilaha illa wa kin ganni mun tawo wallahi ba kowa a gidan sarki. Bari na nuna miki, wallahi ɗauka nake. Yanda muke wayannan da ke zaki ji. Billahi lazi la ilaha illa huwa. Abun mamaki. Wallahi. Bari ki gani. Hello? Ba kowa. Gashi can da jan hula. Dube su ba kowa. Ke ku tsaya su wuce.
So that is something that is called the disappointing outing income, despite all of the billions that they scheduled to spend in Kano. Sure, you get me now. But they are waiting for Buhari. You know, Buhari gets this court followership. So if you need hundreds of thousands to come out, once they hear that Buhari is coming, they will be out. And that may boost the morale of the Lagos Abobakus. So when Buhari said he's going to lead the campaign of Kolu, they are waiting for a very, very entertaining period where everywhere will jam-packed. And they can say it's because they love Daddy Abraham. Sure you get. So no be me talk more. I mean, any of you who is still holding any kind of a grudge or grudges after your APC, Egbekegbe's primary, Baba Abraham said he has forgiven Pastor Ruga, and everybody should just go and get ready and work to keep him as your next president, as we have seen. But when you now come down to what Emefiele is up to, he said he's going to change Nigeria naira. To what? Are they about to add some extra zeros? As Nigeria reached that breaking point whereby, listen, the only thing that can make Nigeria to hide that $1 is now 750 naira to 750 naira to $1. Yeah. So maybe they will just say, we are removing some zero so that it will just be 75 naira to $1.
like they did in Ghana. You remember when they removed 0? They will just say, your 50 naira is now 5 naira. They will remove 1 0 because the way Nigeria is going, Zimbabwe, they will become your motivational, mentor. They will be your mentor. So maybe Emefiole is about to remove ones, I don't know, but they said they want to redesign the naira. Okay, so 200 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira. So waiting my own suspicious Nigerian PTSD mind is telling me is that you may wake up tomorrow and 100 naira will be 10 naira. 200 naira will be 20 naira. 500 naira will be 50 naira. 1,000 naira will be 100 naira. And they will now make it look like $1 is now 75 naira to $1. But guess what? The value of that your 75, the real value of that 75 naira is, the real value of your 750, what am I saying? Yeah, 750 naira, that they remove 1 0 is still that same trashy value, even if they remove all of the 0. And they turn your 100 naira to 1 naira. And they turn your 200 naira to 2 naira. And they remove 2 zeros, right? It will still be the same thing. Now the number, now the thing where you print on paper, they won't change, not the value of that currency. Remember now, this Emefiole said the reason why naira is losing its value in Nigeria was because of some trees in Abuja. I don't know if many of you remember that. This same central bank governor of Nigeria, he came out, he said, the reason why naira is losing its value was because there are some trees in Abuja that they need to cut them down. Because under those trees, people where they exchange money, bureau de change, they are standing under the tree. The tree is providing shade for bureau de change in Abuja. And that is why Nigeria naira was losing its value against the rest of the world, their currencies, right? They cut down trees, hundreds of trees, they mow them down from 200 naira or 250 naira to $1. It is now over 700 naira to $1. The Emefiole brought another trick. He called it e-naira. E-naira. Hey, I came here and said, if you put your money, it go be like this Ponzi scheme. You don't go. Now Sahara, you do. Nigeria bond, Nigeria this or that. All of those things have been liquidated. Okay? Their value have been completely, reduced or gone, wiped off. You will find out later. Shebi, you buy Nigerian bond, Abi. The bond is going to become this tomorrow. They have already doctored their stock and their stock market, everything. So they follow them, Abi. Emefiole came out. He said the way to fight for poor forex in Nigeria was to get all of us where they send money go Nigeria. They were targeting us, targeting our money. All of us with the diaspora. They were targeting Emefiole with his gang of thieves. They came together. The way to rescue the naira is to target the money we send home. They were reading it everywhere. Hey, Nigerians abroad are sending over $35 billion in a year to Nigeria. Hey, Emefiole was like, if we can control that money, even if half of that 35 billion can come through CBN, central bank, we no go to suffer that much. Because this now we get the real cash. See, let me tell you something. Everybody where they live abroad, okay? Now we get the real currency, the raw currency. And the people running Nigeria, they know that. They have put together different schemes, lies, to swindle us, to steal from us, to rob us. Many people are falling for their scams before. But with the modern day social media, the available information that people have now, it has become so difficult for the likes of Emefiole to steal our money. He brought something, they call it e-naira. E-naira. I said, don't let them lie to you. There's nothing called naira. Nah, inira. In Yoruba, is inira. In English, it's called suffering. I don't know what it is called in Igbo or any other language right there in Nigeria. But inira, no be naira. The whole thing, when it came out, they were promising us 5 naira on every dollar. If I send $100, I will collect 500 naira from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Waiting concern me with them. They were trying to make us use their e-naira app so that they can then use that and say, we are 200 million people in Nigeria. We have over 60 million people who are trading through e-naira platform. Almost they don't get 100,000 people, 200 million country. Nobody trusted them because they are fraudsters. They are fraudulent. Nobody trusts that kind of a system. For real, except for those who are as dumb as those that believe in them. The way he has come out again, Emefiole. This Emefiole, he gave a loan, 1.4 trillion naira. They call the money loan for farmers in Nigeria. So that if they give farmers loan and they give them fertilizers, if they manage to grow food crops in large quantities, they can use that they can flood the market with that and crash the food price. You know what happened? They run loss. Short. Loss. 1.4 trillion naira. Guess what? The farmers they gave the money to, many of them, they killed them. Boko Haram terrorists killed them. Fulani terrorists killed some of them and chased the rest of them out of their farms and took over their farms. Central Bank governor no fit go collect loan because the farmers served in the IDP camp. Waiting you won't go. Okay. Let's say Abdullahi, Adamu, Shehu, Garbage, Femi Okonu Adeshino. All of you come here. The money where you collect for farming from Central Bank. Oh yeah, how you go pay them? They say, I am coming from IDP camp in Benue. I am coming from the IDP camp in Sokoto. Now the KB IDP camp have been in the last 3 years. So they run at loss. The terrorism destroyed most of those investments. And they ended up having to go and start collecting paddy rice from everywhere. Paddy rice are the rice they have not processed though. You know the rice, where we say it's still inside in shell. They call them paddy rice. Now they have to bag paddy rice. And the sawdust. And they hire trucks to load them in Abuja. Rice where people go chop. Rice where they suppose they farms from hundreds of kilometers away. Just to show to you that they are doing something. This is Emefiole. After losing 1.4 trillion naira investment, he had to quickly make a display in Abuja. Pyramid rice in Abuja. Who does that? You harvested your farm. You harvested the rice from far away. You put them inside bag, unprocessed, and you come dump them on a field in Abuja to take pictures and say, see what we have done. 1.4 trillion naira. They barely saw 200 billion naira back. 1.4 trillion. They lost everything. The Emefiole want to change the naira. Ogbeni Iwoma Dirao, listen to him. He's a very good liar, by the way. Just listen. They want to change naira.
As at the end of September 2022, available data at the CBN indicate that 2.73 trillion naira out of the 3.23 trillion naira currency in circulation was outside the vaults of commercial banks across the country and supposedly held by members of the public. Evidently, currency in circulation has more than doubled since 2015, rising from 1.46 trillion in December 2015 to 3.23 trillion as of September 2022. I must say that this is a very worrisome trend that cannot continue to be allowed. 2. Worsening shortage of clean and fit banknotes with attendant negative perception of the CBN and increased risk to financial stability. 3. Increasing ease and risk of counterfeiting, evidenced by several security reports. Indeed, recent developments in photographic technology and advancements in printing devices have made counterfeiting relatively easier. In recent years, the CBN has recorded significantly higher rates of counterfeiting, especially at the higher denominations of 500 and 1,000 naira notes, banknotes. Although global best practice is for central banks to redesign, produce, and circulate new local legal tender every 5 to 8 years, our existing series of banknotes, the naira, has not been redesigned in the last 20 years. The bank remains resolutely determined to achieve the objective of its mandate as enshrined in Section 2B of the CBN Act of 2007 to ensure a strong and effective legal tender. It is therefore no longer tenable to continue with business as usual, especially given the continually evolving circumstances that would impeach the optimal performance of our naira. Furthermore, we believe that the redesign of the currency will help deepen our drive to entrench cashless economy, as it will be complemented by increased minting of our e-naira. This will further rein in the currency outside the banking system into the banking system, thereby making monetary policy more efficacious. Also, in view of the prevailing level of security situation in the country, the CBN is convinced that the incidence of terrorism and kidnapping will be minimized as access to large volume of money outside the banking system used as source of funds for ransom payments will begin to dry up. Ladies and gentlemen, on the basis of these trends, problems, and facts set out above, and in line with the provisions of Sections 2B, Section 18A, and Section 19, Subsection A and B of the CBN Act 2007, the management of the CBN has sought and obtained the approval of President Muhammadu Buhari to redesign, produce, release, and circulate new series of banknotes at 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira levels. In line with this approval, we have finalized arrangements for the new currency to begin circulation from December 15, 2022, after its launch by President Muhammadu Buhari. The new and existing currencies shall remain legal tender and circulate together until January 31, 2023, when the existing currencies shall cease to be legal tender. Accordingly, all deposit money banks currently holding the existing denominations of the currency may begin returning these banknotes back to the CBN effective immediately. The newly designed currency will be released to the banks in the order of first come, first served basis. Customers of banks are enjoined to begin paying into their bank accounts the existing currency to enable them to withdraw the new banknotes once circulation begins in mid-December 2022. All banks are therefore expected to keep open their currency processing centers from Monday to Saturday so as to accommodate all cash that will be returned by their customers to their vaults. For the purpose of this transition from existing to new notes, bank charges for cash deposits are hereby suspended with immediate effect. Therefore, deposit money banks are to note that no bank customer shall bear any charges for cash returned or paid into their bank accounts. Members of the public are to please note further that the present notes remain legal tender and should not be rejected as a means of exchange for purchase of goods and services. We would like to use this opportunity to reassure the general public that the CBN would continue to monitor both the financial system in particular and the economy in general, and always act in good faith for the achievement of the bank's objectives.
You realize that he's reading it, Abi, is a well-prepared public presentation, but there are questions that they won't answer, okay? That was a man that printed over 21 trillion naira and handed them over to Buhari's government to share. I mean, he confessed to that himself. So that means they have printed too much, Abi. So they need to print more and, you know, and all that. In 2 months, Abi, Emefiole, the central bank governor of Nigeria, just last year, defending the money he printed en masse that got exposed by another state governor, and he defended it a year after that. For whatever they are up to, they are changing the currencies. I mean, this was a year ago. It's not that long.
Right? That is our job, right? To print is about saying lending money. So there's no need putting all the controversy about printing of money as if we're going into the factory, printing naira and then distributing on the street. It is very inappropriate for people to just give some coloration to the word printing of money as if it is some foreign word coming from the sky. Okay, so I think it's important for me to put it this way, that in 2015, 2016, the kind of situations we find ourselves now, which is even worse than what we faced in 2015, 2016, we did provide budget support facility for all the states of this country. That loan remains unpaid till now, and we are going to insist on the states paying back those monies going forward, since they are accusing us of giving them loans. That's what they're saying. And so most countries in the world today are confronted by not only health challenges coming from the pandemic of COVID, and also economic crisis and the rest of them. And what I keep saying this, it will be irresponsible for the Central Bank of Nigeria or any central bank or any Fed to stand idle and then refuse to support its government at this time. And what is being done, right, is being done in any climb. And at the last Monetary Policy Committee meeting, I did say, and I gave data about what is being done, even in developed economies, about what needs to be done to shore up their economy and take them out of recession. Nigeria is unfortunately in a very bad situation. I'm not going to pretend about it, in the sense that we are facing problem about productivity output, which is GDP. Luckily, we managed to just come out of it with a hair's breadth, and we are working very hard to see how we can not only have our head above water, but get our waist above water. That is what we are focused on right now. And of course, we're also confronted by issues of inflation and prices and the rest of them. And so for us to begin to see that some people playing some games, trying to come up with overheating this polity, talking about printing of money, I think is very unfortunate and totally inappropriate. And I would like to advise that this should stop. We should all work.
I would like to be polite. Emefiole, I would like to be polite. Please, shut up. I mean, that's what Kolu will say. Is that not what Pa Abraham will say? I would like to be polite. Shut up, Emefiole. What is done with that is said a year ago is that it has now gone worse. Nigeria debt is now over $120 billion. That is over 63 trillion naira. Now, because of him. So they want to print more money, but it's going to be a different design. Somebody was talking about it last year. I mean, there's something up, isn't there? I mean, maybe Tinubu, you may have a different idea, because I mean, APC, there's talk saying that Tinubu economic blueprint, Buhari they use. Have you heard that before? See, you are acting surprised. Kemi Adeosun, you remember that disgraced Minister of Finance or Finance Minister in Nigeria, Kemi Adeosun, you remember him? She said that they are using Tinubu economic blueprint of Lagos. That is what APC, Egbekegbe, is using
in Nigeria. Economic blueprint. Tifnumbu, tell us a bit about that.
If we reduce the purchasing power.
Hang on. That's what I wanted to ask. Like, Emefiole has contributed in digging Nigeria into a deep hole. And as a B, it doesn't seem, it's not looking like he has any kind of regret. He's doing the right thing, he believes. So if it's you, President Pa Abraham Tifnumbu, what would you do to get us out of here? For example, like one Nigeria. Now, if they ask him, what would you do? Pa Abraham, sir.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax nets. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the country.
Wow. Let us clap for him. Many of you are bad child. I mean, is that the best you can do? Clap for this economist from Iraqbiji. Come on. Eh? You clap higher. Like, people wait there happy say, wow. Do you get that? In the hand of these rogues, Atiku, Tifnumbu, Tinyete. Somebody said that, God, you will see, I showed you, Maiyegun, you will see what will happen. God will share, Tieta, Luja ye. If they talk, say, God go shame somebody where they want you. So that it's Yema Lota. Tinyete, pow, 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 pow. Very, very, somebody said, how can somebody be this so good, wise, and intelligent like that if he's the best among the rest? If anybody know what may APC win 2023, we no care. This guy, he said, he's a member of House of Assembly in Borno. If don't kill, we go kill. Sorry, I know here this Kanuri. He's not Fulani, he's a Kanuri. That's another tribe. Because some of you, Nigeria don't make you feel like northern Nigeria is Hausa and Fulani. Fulani is probably like about 3% of the population of the north. 3%. You see these Kanuri people, sorry if you are Kanuri watching me right now. I don't want to generalize, okay? The Fulani terrorists, those are the ones with cows and guns. You see this Boko Haram, they are not just Fulani. Fulani no today inside out those ones. If you want to see Boko Haram members, senior comrade, armed comrade, they are mostly Kanuris. And this guy will be a House of Assembly member. I they suspect him. I know to know what in they talk, but I 100% know say he's a repentant terrorist who is not representing the region. He said they will kill anybody they have to kill for Tifnumbu to be the president. Whatever it's going to take. Because you remember, Shetima is from Borno, and it is not new. If you don't believe it, that means you have not been following the story. Listen to him.
Marte local government land. Ambassador Bahamed Gitambeji. Kan ye jen bulan rumyen ya etabe buyen de mbuna. Mongonolan MT Mongonon beji kan ye jen bulan lanyer rumyen ya mongonon zabe buyen de mbu.
That's not Fufude. That is not Fufude, the language of the Fulanese. That is Kanuri. And he's House of Assembly member, a lawmaker. Persecutors, they make law. You they ask for peace. You decrease. Now, so your brain did backwards reach. You have terrorists who are making laws for peace. There is no peace here. Violence every left, right, and center. You can't act surprised. Why are you acting surprised? You are surprising me that you are surprised. Why are you acting surprised? Terrorists are everywhere. They are making laws. And you will get sense. You talk about law and order. Which law? Law made by terrorists. Look at them. Then kill you, they kill you. You die, you die. You want my dirao. If I this whole world self, as it be so now, everybody, dirao. Here in the UK, we just got a new prime minister. As the guy, they speak grammar, they speak, I say, oh, mama, you know, very smart and sharp. Listens to a few of it. But Iwama Dirao, listen to him, Rishi.
Good morning. I've just been to Buckingham Palace and accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government in his name. It is only right to explain why I'm standing here as your new Prime Minister. Right now, our country is facing a profound economic crisis. The aftermath of COVID still lingers. Putin's war in Ukraine has destabilized energy markets and supply chains the world over. I want to pay tribute to my predecessor, Liz Truss. She was not wrong to want to improve growth in this country. It is a noble aim. And I admired her restlessness to create change. But some mistakes were made. Not born of ill will or bad intentions. Quite the opposite, in fact. But mistakes nonetheless. And I have been elected as leader of my party and your Prime Minister, in part, to fix them. And that work begins immediately. I will place economic stability and confidence at the heart of this government's agenda. This will mean difficult decisions to come. But you saw me during COVID doing everything I could to protect.
Because all those ones, they look like, is Indian, by the way. All of you that they try to change the story, okay? Is Indian, right? But in Papa was born in Kenya. In Mama was born, I don't know. Sorry about that. Women, don't say, Maiyegun, why would you say you don't know about your mama? Because that's not where I'm going with all of this, okay? However, they are Indians. India was colonized by Britain. But everybody will agree for the decades that British colonized India, the value of the Indian people was never taken away from them, including their language, which has become, including their religion as well. So when Richie Bobo became the Prime Minister of the Conservative Party of the UK, Omogbon, he quickly did this, Wájú ọpọ́n ọ̀fà ògbọ́ o, ẹ̀yìn ọpọ́n ọ̀fà ògbọ́ o, olùmọ̀ràn lọ́tún o, ọlọ́kànràn òsì o, àárín méjì ifá òde ọ̀run o. Number 10 tí mo fẹ́ wọ̀ yìí, ó ń gbóná mọ́ everybody ní o, medicine o, may no hot with me o. Ọmọ ọgbọ́n we call him. Ìwọ má dira o. Waiting just do there is what the Omogbons
kind of, do they will say, Ewa jo okpon, eyin okpon. That is the front of the board. That is the front of this word, the back of the word, the left side of the word, the right side of the word, and you people who actually are the owner of this whole world. Behave. I want to enter number 10 now. This whole I don't know what's in the inside, though, but you supposed to know what's in the inside, though. So, you know, they say, you told like you move in 24 hours, so you have to tell me what's in the inside this place. So to say, I decided to share that, even though it might not be to you. But how is that relevant to what we are saying here? I'll tell you. It is significant, right? Nigeria, which currently is experiencing which is currently at the state of total dissipation. Dissipation, everything cut off, everyone, they go their separate way. There is something that brought us together in the first place. Then there is also religion that they brought into it. Okay? The people that brought you the survivor and the salvation and everything to see God since all this while, the people who brought you salvation, so to say, they are not the people that brought us salvation. Our forefathers, my friend, shut up, Jare. I would like to be polite. Shut up. British came and they brought that religion. That same Britain is now being led by an Hindu, which has to touch and say, again, no, India, India, Marrakesh, all of you, India, Rawanias, your son don't dey here, I will enter this place, so I know they come out, and he did the ritual. If I become prime minister of I can't, because my papa no be multi-millionaire in pounds. You see that guy, in papa was a millionaire. The guy himself and his wife and the inheritance they inherited from their parents here in the UK, is almost 800 million pounds. So 1 million pounds of their money, is over 800 million, nearly 900 million naira of your money. Now they have 800 of that. So the guy is rich, he has everything. So, but again, you cannot make me. If I become prime minister of the UK or prime minister of Scotland one day, that's what we go do. You to lie, but for 48 hours, so me only manifesto, but mo fair make sure we waiting they pursue them come up from this number 10. May no pursue me mo 24 hours. They can't go out you know that kind of thing. And you enter there and say yalla anybody. Last look anybody. You know what that kind of thing. I say you know, see how you take it back to them. But don't worry, that's just a distraction. But the bottom line is that the day Nigeria sees, right? You will get to realize that we have a lot that could indeed continue to exist side by side, even with what you have known, without us turning around to desecrate, decimate, and at the same time devalue the real people that we are, because they said we are, well, they are evil, as they will say. Now, the right thing they said they will create out of their goodness is this Nigeria, the one that has become, you know, a blood-sucking entity that we don't even know how much of our blood will have to be sacrificed before we can actually enjoy the peace and citizenship that people of, the citizens of different countries of the world actually experiences. And Nigeria is not going to give you that. Yoruba nation. The Yoruba nation that Atiku called
whatever they call themselves. We know ourselves. And then, you know, the word Yoruba is not mono. When you say Yoruba people, it's not mono. We have a lot of a tribe here that makes up that Yoruba nation. And Nigeria is the contraption that has forced and kept us, forced us to stay still in the contraption that doesn't really, it's never in our own interest, so to say, right? Now that contraption want to keep us forced together and keep us in a state of denial, continue to deny our real identity, continue to deny the identity and acknowledgement that there are people, nations within nations that make up the contraption that the British forced together. And until those people are given back their identity, or they win it back, or carry back, whatever it is, peace no good in Nigeria. I don't know how to say it better. Your criminal leaders benefiting from it knows that. But how long can they hold it? You don't know, I don't know. You can wake up tomorrow and this old shit will don't hit the fan and everybody go find themselves. As they say, find your bearing. I'll stop there and possibly take one or two calls before we call it a night. If you die trying to save Nigeria, you die wrongfully. Ask Fela. He had an album, a whole album for it. But nobody listened. I'm reminding you, Nigeria, as it be so, it be like say, you are done for. If you ended up in the hands of Kolu, you know what will happen. If you ended up in the hands of Atiku, you know where you are going to end. And what if we ended up in the hand of Obi? I'll let you, let your guess be my guess. I'll be back in a minute or two. Take one or two calls and call it a night. If we are still here, don't go anywhere.
Brother, they give me some advice from the
Everybody organize.
Rishi, like, you just say you wise. Oh yeah, now, Baba, how are you?
Rishi, Indira, okay, down in street.
Baba, I want something you say. Whatever they inside this place, say, you told like you move in 48 hours. I know they come up for you, they fix here.
The guy know they hide down.
You see, look at it. And when you talk big, see I'm now for their own country, them get freedom of doing whatever religion you want to practice. No joy one, nobody sends you. All they are after is the people. People should live freely, live your life the way you want to live.
That's the society, man.
But follow the rules. As long as there is law that is guiding, follow the law, and you will live freely.
Yes.
Nobody should hold you back. As long as you don't go against the law.
That's right.
Or you have a country whereby you cannot do anything. If you shift, you won't practice any religion. They go, they look you, say, waiting. If you are Muslim, you be, they go, they look you, say, waiting they do. If not Christian, you be, they go, they...
If you are a Christian, you are not Christian enough. Everything is like it's not enough. But yet, people are not able to live freely. It's sad, though.
Maiyegun, let me tell you, even these Arab countries that you see, it is Islamic law that they use. Yes. So whatever you see that they are doing as Muslims, just leave them. They are using Islamic laws. But when you come to a country like Nigeria, yes, which if you go to their country, you have to follow their law.
Yes.
Because that is what they use. But you come to Nigeria, a country that has different people. Everybody has a culture. But what kind of culture?
They hide those primitive cultures. Some of them actually claim they hide them behind religion and say, no, we don't like that because our religion is forbidding it. No. It's actually your primitive culture most of the time. Go on.
Of course. I will continue to say it. If you are talking of extremism, that thing, it did my head before.
You told us now that you were raised to see things that way.
To see things that way.
Until
that is why, I am in the best position that I will explain to people. I can tell you more about a typical Hausa person. So only extremism anymore. But here there is nothing you can do.
Using religion as a cover. I say, I don't know. The reason why I'm angry is because it's because of my religion. I say, calm down. Now the extremism is you. If not, if you fight for God, if you fight for Muhammad, if you fight for anybody, if you fight for yourself. Stop lying.
I'm telling you.
The extremism in you, they talk. Tell them.
You see, the thing be about waiting Atiku talk. I want me to just go some people that only want to believe for they cannot put words together. Or to Sonia, of course, if you shall I say, long jump around Yoruba nation, Biafra, so if you not like, make una no get sense. So Atiku, Tinubu, anyone will come. Everybody. Everybody man lolo here. You posted something. You posted when you posted what this governor of Edo said. Nigeria will divide. So I went. Yes, when I went under the post, I said something. Then one Igbo guy now came. He said, "If Obi doesn't win, so being that my own name, when he come, you are still rooting for Obi. Your Obi are be waiting for him. Himself na failure. He's part of the criminals. So when I talk that thing, the guy can't think say maybe I did support or Atiku or those people because of my name. Because say and it is think don't say now those people with the fear and when you don't the people that are afraid to separate are the ones that don't want Obi. Are you mad? Do you even know what you're saying?
They don't.
Do I look like someone who is in do I look like someone who is in support of your one Nigeria? Go and look at my profile. Go and look at me very well. Don't look at it. Just go on the profile and look from A to Z and see the post that is on there before you start speaking out rubbish. Are you mad or something? Well, Maiyegun,
you're mad.
No, Allah, we did.
Thanks so much, Ahmed.
We did.
Nice one, Baba. I'll take another call. I have another person on the line already. So, hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello.
Good evening. No.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well. I hope you're well too.
I am trying to be very well.
Hey!
Huh?
I want articulated. I want obedient. I want stupid, batified people. I want forgery addict. I want mo fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀. Hey, tí rí nǹkan kan. Wàláhì, tí rí nǹkan kan. Mo rántí ìgbà tí náírà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní wálẹ̀ gidi gan, ìgbà tí Emefiele take over. Mo rántí pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ sí China gbà yẹn. Wọ́n sọ fún ọkọ mi, wọ́n ní kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? Why is the naira, depreciating like this? Only they just wanted to have a free fall ni tó bá yẹ ó máa stabilize àwọn òyìnbó òṣìrò òṣì tó máa ń pa fáwọn èèyàn káàkiri. Emefiele ò ní dignity o. Boy ní Emefiele.
I mean, somebody that is èèyàn tó ṣiṣẹ́ ní bank tó get to the high rank position in bank is running Nigerian Central Bank like bígbà tẹ́ bá ń run nu.
Maiyegun, àwa mọ bí Emefiele ṣe dé bẹ́ẹ̀. Emefiele is a tool.
I agree.
Emefiele is a tool. I used to be an insider. Emefiele ni. Owó mélòó lẹ fẹ́ acquire? Owó mélòó lèèyàn kan fẹ́ ní? Ẹ̀dẹ̀ bàlújẹ́, owó jẹ́ everybody ń pariwo. Àwọn stupid people tó ń ṣe rally Tinubu náà tó ń pariwo Yorùbá ronú. Mo ní àánú yín ò ṣe mí. Yorùbá ronú. Àìsí rí nǹkan kan. Yorùbá ronú lẹ ti ń pariwo. Lórí èlò owó tí ò tó yín ra nǹkan kan. Emefiele ò ní dignity lè ti ẹ̀ ṣọ́ọ̀kì mi. Mo ní láti send message kan ara àwọn.
Ó yẹ kí wọ́n bundle ẹ̀ báyìí. Kí wọ́n kọ̀ fẹ́. Kí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní reel out the economic crime tó ti commit. His actions, right, have ruined so many lives because their businesses got ruined.
Emefiele is a very brilliant guy, but unfortunately, he has allowed himself to be used.
I mean, I was wondering, why did they keep him, after they arrested those people? Those people they got accused of collecting money during Jonathan's time. They collected those money through Central Bank. So they arrested some people, but they retained him.
Àwọn tó ń ba Nàìjíríà jẹ́. Jẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ jù. Ó sad o. Maiyegun, it is very, very sad. This is very pathetic. And to think that people are so blind because we've been miseducated. Àwọn èèyàn kọ́ àwọn èèyàn láti ronú. And then àwọn tó tún wá take time wọn láti learn a lot of things that they've been taught.
Shut one down. Like, shut up your mouth. What do you know? What do you understand?
Maiyegun.
Do you want me to tell you where I first got so scared? I am not an economist. I may not know the complete repercussion of some of these things. You are a businesswoman. You just said something earlier, right? So you have an idea of what I'm talking about, Maya. Where I first got scared that something is going to happen and it's going to be so huge that people won't be able to handle it, was when they started that round tripping in Central Bank then. That round tripping that got so many businessmen, businesswomen to become beggars to third party. Who have no real
I know about round tripping.
You remember that time?
I know about round tripping.
And that destroyed the naira within a year.
That was what started destroying the naira. I had people approaching me, asking me that round tripping.
Yeah. We're businessmen, no. People who wanted to do real business, so they don't have access to forex. Only for some charlatans to have access to those forex, and they can sell at any price they wanted. That destroyed the naira.
I'm so grateful that I didn't do it. I'm so grateful. I'm only dignity more. Only dignity. Short me. What
happened to Godwin? No. What happened to God? The kilo share.
Kilo share. One Lonian is allowing himself. I mean, so don't get me wrong.
It's just a willing tool.
That people that are good are keeping quiet in situations like this. It is what is mind-boggling.
It's a willing tool. And all he's been doing has been hurting millions of people.
In fact, I'm only goosebumps because I can't believe this is happening.
For those who understand, ma, share you get. For those who understand. But thank you so much, for stopping by. Okay, thank you so much. And I'm glad. I actually love the anonymity, the anonymous caller. I would say I know her. I'm glad that we didn't have to say who and who, because these are the people who actually knows these guys too. And so many of you watching as well who actually knows them. And sometimes you feel like, it's sad. Hello there, sorry.
Yeah, hello, Maiyegun, what's going on, my brother?
Hello, Baba, how are you?
Hey, Baba, I hail you. I hail Gogolio.
How they go. Everybody can hear you, Baba. Loud and
Baba,
clear.
they go, we dey push am. Oh my, why you to go in? Scout master lo diga rebuje. La. I get to go di. Ibi power. Scout master o diga rebuje. Scout master diga rebuje. La la. Wàláì wo àwọn tí ò bá gbọ́n lè gbọ́n bàbá. Màmá tó pè tán láìpẹ́ yìí.
Ìyá àjẹ́ sáfólé àbí kílẹ̀ ó
sáfólé. Nàìjíríà nìkan ni ìlú tí ìyá àjẹ́ ti ń sá fún kidnapper o. Aláyé gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọmọ mo fọ́ fáwọn kidnapper Nàìjíríà ibi tí ìyá àjẹ́ ti ń wò pé wọ́n bá lọ jí mi gbé. Tọ́lọ gí orí mi tọ́lọ gí ọyàn. Tani máa ròyìn mú ṣé máa lè padà fò lálẹ́. Ìyá àyẹ̀kọ́ táyé fọgbọ́n sí ni o.
Ìyá àjẹ́ fọgbọ́n sí o, nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ sẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ pé ọmọ ẹ wá.
Ó táyé fọgbọ́n sí ni. Ọmọ Emefiele ìyá aláyẹ Emefiele. A wise man who died at the backyard of a foolish man. Baba Orlando ti sọ.
They say he get us CB.
He get us CB. He get us CB oníbo ṣe jẹ ṣé o mọ̀ ni. Fẹlá Yẹ̀sù ti sọ fún wọn náà ti pẹ́ international ti thief only if you die wrongfully. Wọ́n náà ti kọ́ mọ́ ni. So gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó ń kú tó ń sọ pé I love my country. Ìyá ayẹ ọ̀gbẹ́ni tó bá débòde ọ̀run lásán ọ máa nù ẹ́ pàṣán ní pìwìrì. Ara ló kù náà kí ló ń ṣe ẹ́ yóò ṣe ìlú tọ́lọ́run dá ní Nàìjíríà ni òyìnbó ló dá Nàìjíríà náà. Náà ìlú tọ́lọ́run dá ní Yorùbá, Igbo, Hausa.
Exactly.
So òyìnbó ló padà kó wọn pọ̀ tó dá Nàìjíríà torí ẹni gbogbo àdúrà tẹ̀ ń gbàdúrà pẹ̀lú lórúkọ Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run ò tẹ́tí sí ẹ má máa gọra yín. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bàbá Ọlọ́run gbọ́n Ọlọ́run ẹ ti ariwo yìí ti pọ̀ jù. Ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ gbàdúrà jọ ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ mọ̀ jù.
Every time when you wake up and you say please God come and bless Nigeria, it's confused like.
Nàìjíríà á máa wọ pé ṣé mo dá Nàìjíríà ni.
Is that for
Nigeria now?
Is that for Gary?
Is
that for
Gary?
Where's Nigeria? Where is Nigeria? Maybe God doesn't even know Nigeria. What about that?
Ọlọ́run ọmọ Nàìjíríà mo ṣáà ti sọ Ọlọ́run ló dá Nàìjíríà tó bá sọ pé Ọlọ́run jọ wá rescue wa ní Yorùbá nation Ọlọ́run mọ̀ pé òun ló ń dá Yorùbá.
Èdè wa gan la fi sọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wàá ṣe rí ìgbà yìí orí ẹ̀ wà ń bẹ̀.
That's why when we talk we say lọ́la àwọn alálẹ̀ lọ́la àwọn ancestor because our people know they die for Yoruba land. See o Larry, even when people die for Yoruba land we don't even let them go.
okay? We turn them to ancestors. We give them shinap. We
Of
want
course,
them to consult.
why am I Sahara now? Don't need Sahara. Why should Sahara now?
When they shout different names, God will be like, what is Nigeria? They say, Nigeria. It's on the map. God, please check. They say, no, I don't know Nigeria. I didn't create any place.
Oh, my toye wa ṣe bí òun ọmọ India àti bọ́ síbẹ̀ yẹn sìn tó ti sáré lọ tẹ fá níwájú bẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ bá wa ti ṣe èrì gbogbo nǹkan tàbí máa tún jà ń fọ́tò pàpàpàpà. Bọ̀dọ̀ ẹ pàwá ni àwọn ọmọ máa bú èèyàn náà pé ṣe rí òun lọ níbi káwọn òbèrè kan máa búra tán ni àwọn olè búra àwọn olè ṣe kí nìkan ọ̀gbẹ́ni Awólọ́wọ̀ búra kó tó di kó ṣe ìjọba. Yes, òun ló jẹ́ kó ṣe ìjọba yẹn rárá. Kò díye. So gbogbo òṣìṣẹ́ ìṣe yẹn ẹ máa ṣe máa sọ we promise you in the name of Allah, in the name of Jesus, ọ̀gbẹ́ni ẹ kàn waste time ara yẹn. Ẹ bá dọ̀rùn padà ọ̀run mi àmọ́ àwọn dúró dé yìí níbodì. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wàá mọ̀ pé nóbi ṣeré náà. Tó bá yá ń sìn ara yẹn máa wá sí Nàìjíríà ó máa wá gbàdó tó máa wọ̀ sọ́rùn. A máa wọ̀ àdó yẹn sọ́rùn. Gba àlàyé bàbá yẹn ò gọ́rí ọmọ India. Kí ló ń ṣe? Ó máa wà àdó sọ́rùn last.
Ọgbọ́n sọ
ọmọ ọgbọ́n ni. Ọgbọ́n sọ orí ẹ wà ń bẹ bàbá. Ṣèbó òun náà sáré kọ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó lọ gbẹ. Ọgbọ́n rìṣì ó rí báwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ṣe pẹ́ bọ́ síwájú ẹ bá ṣe Nàìjíríà ó pé ọmọ èmi kan máa ṣe lè máa ṣe ráyè ṣe bá ṣe lágbára o. Aláyé bọ́ sáré lọ tẹ fáwọn pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ láyé ọmọ kí ló wá fún ọ. Ọtí tí mo fẹ́ lọ jókòó sí yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gẹ́gẹ́ Nàìjíríà ń sìn ní gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó wáyé kiri àwọn gẹ́gẹ́ ẹ̀yìn nǹkan tó máa gbẹ́ lẹ́nu wọn ni àwọn aṣèrì kẹ́ padà sílé. Kẹ́bẹ̀ sí gbógun gidi kẹ́bẹ̀ sí ṣe kí kára yín kẹ́kọ́ tẹ́fá fún yín. Ṣèbí bí bọ̀bọ̀ kan náà ṣe wà ní UK nìyẹn òun náà sọ̀yìnbó ju ọ̀pẹ́ rẹ̀ lọ. Nígbà tó yá tóun náà lọ tẹ́fá gbogbo èèyàn máa ti mọ̀. Òun náà lọ tẹ́fá òun náà ló wá bẹ̀ sí píríṣì fá káàkiri ń sìn mo fẹ́ porúkọ ẹ̀. Ó tún gbéyàwó ẹ̀ náà wọ́n lọ ṣèbí ṣe ojú ẹ̀jẹ̀ là. Gbogbo everybody ti mọ̀ tí mo sọ mo fẹ́ sorúkọ ẹ̀. Àbàmúkọ̀ fẹ́ ṣe àìníjà yìí. Bàbá ìṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ làgbà tí dókítà bá ṣe tán tí àwọn àfáà bá ṣe táwọn wòlíì bá ṣe kí ló máa sọ ọmọ ní ẹ lọ tẹsẹ̀ léèbọ̀ wọ́n mọ̀ pé bàbá ìyẹn ni bàbá ẹ lọ tẹsẹ̀ léèbọ̀ wọ́n mọ̀ kéèké aláìyá wọn ò lè ṣe.
No bàbá tó bá ní kó tẹsẹ̀ lébọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ti bọ́ sí next level nìyẹn ọ̀bọ̀ Larry for another day.
Next level ìṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà ló máa ṣe ìṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náà ló máa bẹ sọ́ọ̀bù ẹ̀. Ẹrù kí n kọ́ gbé ibi kan ló máa gbé sí náà ó lè gbé àtẹrùgbà wo òkè ìsàlẹ̀ ibi kan ló máa gbé sí ìṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ló máa bẹ gbà.
Wàá ṣeré jàre Fàdèyí Olóró Larry. I have another person on the line as well. Hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm very well.
Man. You fine. This is CA from Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. So, yeah, you are live.
You're on fire. You're on fire today, Maiyegun.
I've got some people who are here who love to get me. You know, there's something we do on Maiyegun's Diary Political. There are some guys here. I'm supposed to stop taking their calls, right? They have a way with words. Yeah. So they push me on. They just throw it and throw it. And before you know it, I'm just with them like that, like a ride. Or again, well, I enjoy it just to make sure that we are not too serious about what is going on without having a period of a bit of a break and, laughter while we continue to be serious as well. So thank you.
So, see, those Nigerians, I don't know if there is like a voodoo. I don't understand how people think.
It's just a weaponized.
I don't understand how people think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. But like you said, very soon, I give this country, maybe after the election, maybe 2-3 more years, the country will break up by itself. I believe that.
I mean, they can't
keep it together
any much longer.
We can't sustain it.
No.
We can't sustain it.
No.
We can't. It's no. We can't sustain it. We can't.
Economically, sir, if nothing is
that's what I'm saying.
If nothing is done to stop the hemorrhage,
it's going to collapse. Because
jobs,
see,
where people are losing their jobs every day. If that doesn't stop anytime soon, right? We have a Venezuela on our hand. Venezuela.
Remember when the US whatever said the country will break up in 20 whatever.
15.
Then some years back, yes,
Nigeria will break up.
Yes,
and since then,
it is now I'm beginning to. I am beginning to now understand why they did that. These guys are wise. They projected and they've seen the way we are going, and they knew that with time, it's just a matter of time, the country will pack up. It's going to pack up. We can't continue like this.
No.
We can't continue like this.
No.
And people pretend as if nothing is happening. That's the most annoying thing. It's sad.
Do you know the latest one from the US that told us that if Nigeria continued like it was then, in fact, I mean, it would have been a great gain if APC actually came for development, unity, and progress. They didn't come for that. Now, the same America who warned us 7 years ago, guess what?
Yeah.
From yesterday, sir, they have started taking some of their own staff in Nigeria. Abuja.
I saw it. I saw the punch. I saw the punch today. They're moving them out.
Never come back until after the 2023.
No.
They will never come back until after then. Now
they are moving them out. That's serious. I'm telling you, it's serious.
Whatever they are seeing, we are seeing them too. But in Nigeria, typical Nigeria, it no matter until it matter.
I am just tired, man. I am tired. I am in Atlanta here. But I look at the way people, do you know when I go on Facebook, these are mature people with master's degree,
educated,
thinking like children. They're talking about APC, don't what? I look at this, are these people normal or are they under a trance or is something wrong somewhere?
No. They are not under charm and they are not normal. Okay? These
Jesus Christ.
Facts, sir. And the problem here is this. Not until something happened. We have said it many times. We said, not because we are demanding that they should let people decide if they still want to be part of Nigeria under what arrangement, because things can't continue like this, right? Not because we wanted that, not because of that, that's why this is going to happen, okay? It is because of the actions of these guys. Their actions are not uniting Nigeria. When are people going to tell themselves the truth? Let's be honest. Their actions are not uniting Nigeria. Their actions are creating poverty that are creating more anger, hunger, and in fact, making people to agree and accept more that they don't want to be part of Nigeria. Now, that is their own actions, okay? And if they continue that way, like you said, they can't hold it together for too long anymore. Something will have to change.
They can't.
It's not possible.
They can't. It's gonna break. It's gonna break. They are deliberately looting because even them themselves they know. No. It's my good. They know that the country will break up. So they are looting everything they can loot right now. They are looting because they know that they can't sustain it.
Because
so whatever they can loot, Attorney General will take
a country where you have half of the population jobless. Or you have.
Do you know how much you know how it is?
You get what I mean? You have nearly 60%.
We have to send money. Want to send money back home? Almost the demand almost every day is killing.
Tell me about it.
Jesus Christ! People you think that have averagely good jobs back in Nigeria are still calling you every day, begging you for school fees because they can't sustain. They can't even eat.
Sir, they are drowning in the economic inflation created by these people. Sir, we have over 80 million jobless people in Nigeria from 10 million
out of jobs
7 years ago. Now, that means about 70 million people have lost their jobs. Listen, 70% of the businesses in Nigeria have lost their businesses in the last 7 years.
Collapse.
To the point that those who even took their money to Nigeria, it doesn't mean that nobody is investing in Nigeria. You know the problem, The people investing in Nigeria, they're like 1:8 of those taking their businesses or folding their businesses from Nigeria. How do you expect that to balance? Now, that has created a huge gap of economic disadvantage, okay? Which has also added a huge number into the bracket of poverty, okay? Now, you can pretend all you want. The numbers don't lie. So how long do you think when you now are the number, sir, when you have a number of almost 70% of your population jobless, How long do you
In
think
2
you can
years'
sustain
time.
that? How long?
In 2 years' time. 2 years' time. It might be even shorter. I give that country 2 years. It will take a miracle. It's going to collapse. It's going to collapse.
Thank you so much.
Because there's no way. Thank you very much,
I
man.
don't see any way. And there's none of them who has even come down to explain and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. The short-term solution, the mid-term solution, the long-term solution. I'm talking about practicable solution. They are just promising the usual. We'll give you electricity. We'll give you a job. We'll give you this and that. They can't give you any of this. Nigeria is done for. What APC have done in 40 years, you can never recover back to 2015. But some of you don't understand that, Abi. You will know better because body go tell. Jima.
Baba.
How are you?
Eka,
I expected you to call in tonight. The moment I said I was going to talk about Ortom, the TV people. Atiku, they said that's provoked you. But somehow, it seems Ortom is speaking for many of you. And he's not alone. Where is your stand?
Baba, let me first say, take this opportunity to say a happy birthday to Kofo.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday
Did you see
to
that
Kofo.
video of Kofo? She turned 13 today, and she's a teenager now.
I was just crying. I was crying of joy. I was
Thanks, man.
Happy birthday to her.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Yuma. And now is the young man.
You don't mind that they sleep now. You know, go wake up till around that kind 12. I know go sleep this morning till 5 a.m.
You should have been so used to that. But, I mean, tell me about it. You know.
You know now. You know how we do it.
I tell you. I mean, I'm experiencing every now and then. You are coming out of it gradually, and so yeah, I know. I do know what you're talking about.
We thank God, Baba.
We are tonight. There's been so much shared already, and you have all the time you can get right now to tell me where you want to start from.
I just wanted to talk about that Julius Berger build bridger. The unifier build bridger.
Or which of them?
The unifier and only Julius Berger.
Okay, he's now a builder. Atiku. Go on. Jima.
You can see the way he's building the bridge, right?
Of course.
You can see the way he's building the bridge with lies. When has Ortom ever said that it was all the Fulani? Ortom has been very specific about the Fulani that are doing the damage in Benue State. Just last week, maybe 2-3 days ago, there were killings in Benue State. The same article that is talking about Ortom, not Ortom accusing Fulani, did not say anything about the killings that happened in Benue State. There are people in the hospital as we speak right now. Maiyegun. People that they gouged out their eyes. People that they cut their hands off.
Their hand. I saw some very, very gory.
So,
gory images.
So who is doing it? Is it IPOB? Is it Odudua?
No, that's clashes. So people like Atiku, it doesn't want to lose election. It doesn't want to lose vote. It will appeal to the extremists and it will watch what he says, even if he has to throw the people of Benue under the bus. And that's your future president, Nigeria.
I will tell you something. I lived in Kaduna, Shagari Low Cost Housing Estate, Banawa. I was a Banawa boy. At the age of 7 or 8, I almost lost my life because of what happened. The exact thing that happened to Deborah in Sokoto.
Wow.
Anybody who knows that this estate, this Shagari Low Cost I'm telling you about, there's a field there that everybody normally goes there to play. As a child, I was very, very, very small, skinny, but very stubborn. Now, so 2 small boys see me for the field. You guess what they called me? They called me Inyamiri. And to call a chief man Inyamiri is like you are insulting that chief man. Baba, me I beat the boys, die. I say I beat them, I put them anyhow.
Right.
They ran to their senior brother and reported to their senior brother. So when their senior brother came, he wanted to beat me. Now, so the people for field talk say, no, the boy did not look for trouble. It was your brothers that looked for trouble. That's why then they were fighting and they couldn't beat him and he beat them. Do you know that this boy went and was conniving to stab me and kill me and say that I blasphemed against Muhammad? Only for one small girl to go and report the thing to one Hajia on our street, what you would call Alaja in Lagos. The Hajia now called my mom to tell my mom that she should tell my dad to come and carry me from Kaduna, or else I'll be dead within a week. My dad left Benue State that night.
How old were you again?
I was about 8.
8, 9.
8, 9.
A boy. Go on.
A boy. My dad had to leave Makodi and come overnight to Kaduna, pick me up and took me back to Benue State. I did not see my family for 2 good years in Kaduna until I went back. They wouldn't even allow me to come out from the house. So when I see Atiku making all those...
And they will say, oh, that boy is back. And the vengeance will be back. Wow.
That's how I would have lost my life, just like Deborah did in Sokoto.
And then, they could easily use blasphemy. They can tell everybody and say, you tore a Quran or you insulted Muhammad. And they are everybody, the fanatics, they will come with their weapons and everything until you are dead. Now, that is like
this thing happened to me.
Who always defend those extremists if he wants to win election. Like Buhari.
So if anybody is listening to me from Benue State and you think that you will vote this bigot called Atiku and the Fulanis will stop killing us, then we are behind Ortom 100%. If you like, make it no pay pension, that one no consign us. If you like, make no pay salary, that one no consign us. But you see our life, we will defend that land.
People, you've told me that before. You are behind him.
We will stand with him, Koro. So if they like, my father is buried on that land. My grandfather is buried on that land. I will be buried on that land. And I will take my son here from the UK. He will go and know his roots. So nobody is taking that land away from us.
Yuma,
nobody.
I appreciate that. That's a very powerful one. I agree. There's so much that people don't understand of the interest of the people in what is going on in everywhere in Nigeria. And that is one of the things that we have managed to achieve on Maiyegun's Diary Political. I love it. I love it so much, right? Everybody feel comfortable here because when we discuss issue, we discuss how those issues affect you, whether you are from the north, from the east, from the west, from any part of Nigeria that you are from, even if you are not from Nigeria. There are so many of these happenstances and happenings that you can relate with yourself and say, wow, I didn't know they are doing that also there. We are facing same here. And how do we end it? You can only end the problem after you understand the problem itself. We are trying to make sure that you understand the problem of Nigeria. Having understood them, you don't prefer solution that will keep it together. The right thing to do is to ask, why don't we just go our separate way peacefully? Hello there.
My general.
Yes, sir. How are you? Aku Bawoni.
Same voice, make clear that
very loud and clear. Everybody can hear you, Baba.
Maiyegun, níbo la fẹ́ yà sí báyìí? Níbo la fẹ́ yà sí?
But it will take us it's taking us a lot of work, hard work, just to get our people to turn around. Just to get our people to turn around from the track that Nigeria has placed them for 62 years. Do you really think we can turn them around within just 1 year, sir? So that's the job. And that's how we can get to our destination. So, Ebola Fiyasi, first, can we get our people get back on the track? 62 years of brainwashing, sir. You know, 1 year too. So we have to continue to tell people and remind them, sir. That's my own, except if you have others, you add to it for me, sir.
No, General, as I'm watching you this night, I'm just considering many things. If you look at Buhari,
go on.
Buhari is making Nigeria more desolate and more desolate.
It's just making it worse and worse and worse. And then begin to make people like us like, that Maiyegun, I like him. He gets so much sense. Because everything is said is happening. But you know what? Buhari is doing the best job by proving us right every now and then. And those of you who are waiting to give them second chance, benefit of doubt, you continue to get disappointed and say, oh, damn it, man. Every time I want to see that maybe something will change, it just never change. It just gets worse.
General.
Sir?
Now I pick Atiku. Atiku is telling us he's going to do worse. I now pick Emefiele. You know, I've been thinking about Emefiele for long. Why was this man not sacked immediately Buhari came to power? Because the man should have been sacked and be imprisoned.
Do you know that's the moment I started questioning too, sir? You see?
But because I now realize that sustaining him was an intentional means to use the man to do what any person want. But I'm a lawyer.
Nǹkan tí à ń pè ní compromise, sir. Wọ́n ti ní àṣírí ẹ̀wọ̀n ló yẹ kó jù sí. But iṣẹ́ tó ṣe tó lè bá, you know, the kind of work he did, that he helped Dasuki, the president of Nigeria, receive security votes. And when Jonathan was there, the investigation was that Jonathan received $2 billion as security votes. As Boko Haram terrorism was so high there, Jonathan's office, National Security Advisor Office, was managing $2 billion every month for Jonathan. Back then, $2 billion is 500 billion naira. Okay, so that was Jonathan's security vote. Today, $2 billion is 1.5 trillion naira. Sir, Dasuki was sharing Jonathan's security votes. The same one they arrested him for. That money, sir, was in Central Bank. If you remember when Obanikoro and the rest and Fayoshe, they moved money to Ekiti for Fayoshe election. It was from Central Bank. Now Dasuki signed that money. So Emefiele that coordinated the sharing of that money. They arrested Obanikoro, they arrested Abati, they arrested Femi Fani-Kayode, they arrested Sambu Dasuki. They arrested a lot of people for that money, but they don't arrest Emefiele. Emefiele retained his seat. No be juju be that. Look at what he now did to Nigeria in 7 years, sir. 7 years. Look at Nigeria. So they kept him for a purpose, and he seems to have delivered.
Yes. No, but Nigeria is it changing currency that we should be thinking about now?
Like this guy said, this senator from Eastern Nigeria, Eyinaya Abaribe, he said, the more things changes, sir, the more they remain the same. Here you get, I don't know the French, something like le pré, tout ça, don't quote me, but le pré, tout ça, le pré. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Look at what they have done. In 7 years, Emefiele destroyed Nigeria. Because they don't hold they're responsible.
General.
Sir?
Finally. Because in Nigeria, the Korofo, the Muraleo, see, let me tell you this.
Tell us.
I am a Christian. Look, I'm a Christian.
Bless you.
I have everyone. I keep telling people that Nigeria mama badge lost in people say Taiwo, yes, so it's something positive. Only there is nothing positive you can say about it. Cherry, absolute negativity in learning.
Next time I say, look at the action of these people in charge of Nigeria. She resign Lara won't on fait stop she resign kokon. Nígbà tẹ́ resign on fait stop Google wèrè yìí. Ibo le ti wá rí hope pé Nigeria ma better. Question to member in here. Like, okay, wait. You believe that Nigeria is going to better be? Do you see sign in these characters that brought Nigeria to this state? If you don't see any changes in what they are doing, where then do you get your hope from that everything is going to change in a few years? Are you normal? Because member in here.
General, finally, bola bono jati kia.
No, Nigeria my friend explode from already. The only thing t-shirt wa lowo wa, she so shirt wa lowo wa. Iṣẹ́ tó wà lọ́wọ́ ni pé nígbà tí gbogbo bá máa explode. Come out wawati so that àwọn èèyàn wa tó bá máa jábọ́ nínú inú ìléru Nigeria tó bá máa ṣe pa yẹn, àwọn tó bá survive, àwa lè ní àwọn message ra padà pé wá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló jí sí yìí o. Nàìjíríà ti bá yẹ jẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ náà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá níbí yìí o. Ilẹ̀ ilé la máa gbárùkù tì tó máa di tiwantiwa.
Àdúrà kókò tí mo máa ń gbà pé kọ́lọ́ má jẹ́ kan fi ẹ̀jẹ̀ wa àti ẹ̀jẹ̀ ẹbí wa fọ Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n ti bàálù ìjẹ́. Wọ́n ti bàálù ìjẹ́.
Ẹ̀ tó kàn ló mọ̀ o.
Bó la ṣe máa bọ́ báyìí general, you know you are a man of the...
Àjàbọ́ ni ẹnu ẹ̀nà la wà yìí. Àìdákẹ́ ẹni tó gbádìí òtòṣì ó ti gbé tó níyọnu. Wọ́n gbà wá pọ̀ mérò ní Nàìjíríà. A ti ń pariwo, àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ ń jí sí. Ṣùgbọ́n fúnra wọn ni wọ́n máa fọwọ́ ara wọn fúnra wọn lóògùn jẹ. Ó ti yín. Nígbà tí wọ́n bá wá ń jàporó ikú yẹn, àwa lè sọ fáwọn èèyàn tiwa pé ẹ má gbà wọ́n là o. Ẹja agbára wa là báyìí o. Bí ò jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, ògo ẹrú ayébáyé àti ìrandíran òun la fi ń ṣeré o. Yẹn làwọn ṣe ń ṣe tá à ń ṣe ìsà.
General, ṣé kò wá sí àgbàmọ́ nínú ìlú ni? Ṣé kò sọ́lọ́gbọ́n mọ́ nínú ìlú ni? Omi tó fẹ́ everybody tí o ti everybody.
Ìlú ti dàrú. Àgbàlagbà gan eku òkè bí eku ẹ̀sà. Rats are not crying like rats. Birds are not crying like bird. Human being are not sounding like human being. Everything has centered the whole society, the whole thing. Even the Irumoles, they are not sounding like Irumoles anymore. Until everything scatter, we have to be from the scratch again, sir. Let's just pray to stay alive long enough so that our own children, they won't have to fight this fight again. Go out there, go see, sir. I don't know how long. I mean, the last time you were in Nigeria, if you walk around, you realize even human being, they are not sounding like human being anymore. The other day, somebody was crying. Sir, somebody was crying. And I was wondering, like, what sound is that? They say, now, old man, they cry like a leopard. We escape from zoo. They can't feed them something we say never saw before. And it's like, I've lost my way. I've lost my food. And the rest of that. Old people are crying. Young people are crying. And they are not crying like human beings. So don't let anybody lie to you. Finally.
General, nation builders are here.
Yes. No, we need to keep it on, sir. We need to. Sataiwo, can you nice evening, yeah? Thank you so much, okay? So this is where we are going to draw the curtains. I have delivered my own part of the old message. Brethren, ladies and gentlemen in the Temple of Truth, you have also listened to some of this. Some of them sounds funny. Quite, hilarious, you will say. But ignore that. That part is just to let you douse the tension. Because somebody came here and accused me of, Maiyegun, you are always spreading fear. Everything you talk about here is always making people scared of what is coming. You are not helping people's mental health. You are scaring. I said, okay, what's not going to do now? So Yoruba said that, Orobruku and laugh. Orobruku don't laugh. Sometimes when situation pass crying, you can laugh. So I'll do my best to make sure that I lighten the room. Sure you get. So please don't make this evening about the laugh you have been laughing. Oh, serious, Sigon. Are you with me? And the way it be, anywhere where you try to run to, in this is the name of one Nigeria, but anywhere you run to, na trap. But you go find out later. Because sometimes, it is better, may you find out later. Learn the lesson. So that when the whole thing go boom, I will be here. Maiyegun General, I will be here to say, you see, you remember I told you that time. I'm glad to say, you never die. What do you think? You want to bar the truth to your life or you don't want to bar the truth to your life? The choice will always be yours. Nothing is going to be forced. But you see that Nigeria, it has so much peculiar and special way of disappointing you. Not be me go fluctuate not be me go punctuate your hope. Nigeria is known for doing that. I wish you all the best. I'll see you some other time. Before you go, okay, having spent your evening with me this long, don't leave without subscribing onto my channel on YouTube, without liking the video, which is just your own offering to say you are here. If you don't want to give me any of that, I'll catch you next time. That next time, maybe you will receive that salvation that will say, stay here. Now for here, all of us go march for our own freedom. But if you don't believe me, that's all right. I'll see you some other time. Just stay safe and you have a good evening.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Maiyegun Diary politico. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary Maiyegun #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.